I was bringing the shopping in, carrying 6 bags at once, my arms coming out of their sockets, when it hit me. No way is he dying. Healthy as a nut, my mother would say. I had left Randall, dressed in a jeans and a t-shirt, sitting in a hospital day room. When I picked up my bag and he did the awkward goodbye kiss thing he's recently reinstated, I realised he was wearing aftershave. Friday, so Sam came to mow the lawn. He'd taken his t-shirt off and it was like a commercial, the bay behind him sparkly as a holiday brochure. I rushed in with my bags and dumped them in a heap on the table. Maybe it was the way Sam looked so healthy that made me realise about Randall. That and the aftershave. I hate the man who invented answering machines. They're just another way of being lonely. Mine looked at me with that unwavering, unblinking eye that said, "You're on your own, Estelle." No call from Matthew again. I stopped myself working out when I'd last spoken to him. I was putting the things away in the white emptiness of the fridge when I sensed someone behind me. Sam, of course. I tried to hide the ready meals. I buy all this gorgeous fruit and healthy veg that I never get round to cooking or eating. It's like putting on a nice dress, just an image. I had a feeling Sam saw through the pretense. He knew what I ate and how much I drank. "Do you want me to try and see if I can fix the fountain?" he said. "If you've got time." "You're so good to me, Sam," I said, hating myself for being so fawning, drawing out the ooh in good when there was absolutely no need. I felt like a woman in one of those Diet Coke ads that used to be on, watching him returning to work, boots crunching gravel. I went upstairs to change. The house was too big for me. I was a woman on my own, living in a detached 4-bedroom house. It was strange that I hadn't thought of it before. It was like being on my own had crept up on me. I guess, in my subconscious, I'd always imagined Matthew coming home or fantasized I'd marry again. But I hadn't, and here I was, rattling around in this big house. In my bedroom, I automatically opened the wardrobe on the far left side. And although I had a whole bank of wardrobes that cover that wall, I only ever opened the far left one. There was this thing I had been doing of moving my clothes slowly towards the right-hand side so that they aged in layers like sedimentary rocks or something. I never opened the big right-hand door where I would find my first wedding dress. I was never going to allow the memories to flood back of how handsome Gary was then and how awful it became, but my hand hovered over the handle. I was shaking. I thought, "Estelle, get a grip. There are people in Africa who don't even have one wardrobe." And then I recognised that I had no choice but to get rid of the clothes. Not that I believed my past was so disposable and my first wedding dress would stay. I then had a problem about what to wear. I was vaguely aware of my own flirtatiousness with Sam, but it only really hit me in the evening when I write in my diary. So I tried to choose an outfit that trod that fine line between respectability and making the most of my still trim figure. I chose a pale yellow top I wore to the golf once, and had so many compliments I floated home. I put on a tight pair of jeans and was pleased by how easy it was to fasten them. Mind you, I didn't find weight a problem living on my own. Downstairs, Sam was in the kitchen. "Anything else, Mrs. D?" he asked. "Would you like a beer, Sam?" No, I'm working, thank you," he said, something hesitant in his voice, like he wanted to ask me something and was too afraid to. I felt my heart jump a beat. "Tea, then?" No, thanks, no. Got my own. My sister gave me this." He waved a small knapsack at me. "Water bag, great thing." "Oh." So we remained there, him standing in the middle of the kitchen, the door open. And me standing at the bottom of the stairs looking at him, wondering what to do. Scenarios going through my head that I'm reluctant to admit even to myself now. Blondie came in and rubbed his leg, then mine. I fed her, thinking what a parasite cats were, when it dawned on me. I haven't paid you, have I? Oh no, Mrs. D, no, it's okay, pay me next time if you want. Sam, you should have said. I forgot, don't let me get away with that again. I felt the blood rush into my cheeks. I grabbed my purse, gave him £45. That's way too much, Mrs. D, he said. I can't accept this, you on your own and everything. He waved the extra £5 at me. Keep it, Sam. But Mrs. D, he was beginning to annoy me. You mended the fountain, I managed to say. This seemed to placate him. He turned to leave. Next week? Same time then? Thank you. I watched him through the open patio doors as he loaded the mower into the back of the van and got in. The van turned a neat circle on the gravel and left. The tyre marks reminded me of ripples in a fish pond, petrified. It was 5:30. I remembered looking at the clock. I hate early evening, the end of the working day, the beginning of playtime, a transition that begins the search for how to fill in time until going to bed. I went up to the unblinking answering machine. I picked up the phone and thought about trying to call Matthew. I tried to work out what time it was in Hong Kong, but my brain just couldn't do it. I couldn't remember whether they were ahead or behind. I tried to remember the other times we'd spoken and what time it was there, but it all just got too confusing. I put the handset back in its cradle. I didn't want to wake him up in the middle of the night and have him thinking that someone was dead or that I'd been drinking. The sun was getting ready to dive into the bay, so I grabbed myself a Sauvignon Blanc from the open bottle in the fridge and went upstairs to sit on the flat roof above the kitchen. The tart liquid danced on my tongue, promising the earth, and I thought of Randall in hospital and wondered if he believed he was dying or whether he was deceiving me. The thought gave me a headache, so I sipped some more wine and surveyed my newly clipped garden. It was still warm. The sun wouldn't set for a while yet. I had drained my wine. I was going to be drunk if I sat here waiting for sunset.